Success doesn't happen overnight. It's not about a single moment of brilliance, a stroke of luck, or some magical breakthrough. Success is built on one simple thing: consistency. If you want to achieve something meaningful, something lasting, you have to be consistent. In this video, we're going to talk about why consistency is the key to success, and how small daily actions can lead to massive long-term results. The truth is, you don't have to make huge leaps every day to succeed. The secret lies in doing the right things, day in and day out, even when it feels like you're not making progress. Small steps, when taken consistently, will get you to where you want to go. In this journey, I'll share practical, simple advice that you can start applying today. You'll learn how to stay on track, how to make progress even when you don't see immediate results, and how to build habits that set you up for success. So if you're ready to make real progress and move closer to your goals, stick with me. This video will give you the tools you need to stay consistent, stay focused, and ultimately succeed. Stay tuned. What you hear today could be the key to unlocking your potential and achieving the success you've always dreamed of. Let's dive in. Number 1, stick to healthy habits. A strong body helps a strong mind. When you think about success, you might immediately think about your work, your goals, or your mindset. And while all of that is important, there's something even more fundamental that you need to pay attention to: your health. You cannot perform at your best if you're not feeling your best. If your body isn't in good shape, neither is your mind. A strong body really does help build a strong mind, and you'll never unlock your full potential if you're not taking care of yourself physically. Let's break it down. We're talking about making sure that the foundation of your success starts with taking care of your body. It's about building healthy habits that support you in everything you do. Your body is the vehicle that drives you forward in life, and if that vehicle is running on empty or constantly breaking down, you won't get far. But if you take care of it, if you treat it with the respect it deserves, it will support you in all the challenges and opportunities you face. The first thing you need to understand is that your body and your mind are connected. They work together, like a team. When one is weak, the other struggles. But when you take care of your physical health, you'll see the effects in your mind too. You'll have more energy, more focus, and more clarity. It becomes easier to think, to make decisions, and to push through the tough times. Here's the simple truth. If you want to have a sharp, clear, focused mind, you need to take care of your body first. That means eating the right food, getting enough rest, and moving your body regularly. When you make these things a part of your daily routine, you'll notice the difference. And when you feel better physically, it becomes so much easier to think more clearly and stay focused on what really matters. Healthy habits are not just about looking good or feeling good in the short term. They're about setting yourself up for long-term success. The best way to start is by incorporating daily habits that support your body's well-being. You can't expect to perform at your best if you're constantly exhausted, constantly running on caffeine, or eating junk food. You need to give your body what it needs to run smoothly. Let's start with one of the most important habits: eating well. You don't need to follow the latest diet trend or starve yourself to be healthy. What you do need to do is focus on fueling your body with the right nutrients. That means eating a balanced diet of vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and whole grains. It means giving your body what it needs to function at its best. You wouldn't put low-quality fuel in a high-performance car, so why do that to your own body? Your body needs quality food to operate at peak performance. It's also important to recognize that consistency is key. One healthy meal isn't going to make a lasting impact. It's the habits you build over time that will shape how you feel. You can't expect to eat poorly for days and then expect to feel good just because you had one healthy meal. You have to make a commitment to consistent, balanced nutrition every day. That's where real change happens. Next, let's talk about exercise. Physical activity is one of the most powerful things you can do for your mind and body. When you exercise, you don't just get stronger physically, you also get stronger mentally. Exercise helps clear your mind, boosts your mood, and helps you stay focused. It improves circulation, giving your body the oxygen it needs to work at its best. Regular exercise is proven to help with everything from stress management to problem solving. But here's the key. It doesn't have to be intense or complicated. You don't need to spend hours in the gym every day. Even small amounts of physical activity can have a big impact. Whether it's going for a walk, taking the stairs, doing a quick workout at home, or stretching for a few minutes, any movement is better than none. The goal is to make movement a part of your daily routine. Consistency is the name of the game here too. Of course, another critical factor in maintaining good health is getting enough rest. We live in a world that glorifies being busy, but the truth is, you can't keep running on empty. Your body needs time to rest, to recover, and to recharge. If you're not getting enough sleep, you're not giving your body and mind the time they need to function at their best. Sleep is where your body heals, where your mind consolidates information, and where you prepare for the next day. If you're constantly burning the candle at both ends, you're setting yourself up for burnout. Rest is just as important as work. You need to give yourself permission to slow down and recharge. The more you prioritize sleep and rest, the better you'll feel, and the more effective you'll be when it's time to get to work. But let's take it a step further. Healthy habits aren't just about physical health. They also include mental health. Taking care of your mind is just as important as taking care of your body. This means managing stress, staying positive, and doing things that help you relax and recharge mentally. Take time each day to clear your mind, whether it's through meditation, journaling, or simply spending time with family or friends. When you have a healthy mindset, everything else falls into place. You'll be able to tackle challenges more effectively, bounce back from setbacks more quickly, and maintain a level of mental clarity that helps you make better decisions. Your body and mind are deeply connected, and when both are in good health, you'll find that you're capable of far more than you ever imagined. So how do you start? Well, it's about small, consistent actions. You don't need to make big changes all at once. Start by making small improvements to your daily routine. Focus on eating a little better, moving a little more, and resting a little more. Those small changes will build up over time. Don't expect overnight results, but understand that if you stick to it, your health, both physical and mental, will improve, and you'll be better equipped to handle everything life throws your way. When you make these healthy habits a part of your daily life, you're laying a foundation for success. You'll have the energy, the focus, and the resilience to tackle your goals head on. You'll be setting yourself up for long-term success, because a strong body helps create a strong mind. And when your body and mind are strong, there's nothing you can't do. So take a look at your daily routine. Are you doing everything you can to take care of yourself? Are you giving your body what it needs to succeed? If not, start today. Make those small changes, build those habits, and watch as you become the best version of yourself. Your future self will thank you for it. Remember, health is not just about looking good or feeling good for a moment. It's about creating habits that last a lifetime and setting yourself up for success, not just in the short term, but for years to come. You've got this. Take care of your body, take care of your mind, and success will follow. Number 2. Write down your goals every morning. Keep your mind on track. Every day you wake up, you're given a brand new opportunity. Another day to make progress, to get closer to your goals, and to shape the future you want. But here's the thing. Without a clear focus, without knowing exactly where you want to go, it's easy to get lost. The distractions of life can pull you in different directions, and before you know it, the day is gone, and you're no closer to where you want to be. That's why it's absolutely crucial to write down your goals every morning. You see, when you write down your goals, you're doing more than just jotting down a list of things you want to achieve. You're making a conscious decision to focus your energy and attention on what really matters. Writing your goals gives you clarity. It helps you understand what you need to do today to move closer to your vision of success. It sets the tone for your day and helps you stay on track, even when life tries to pull you off course. Start each morning by taking a moment to sit down and get clear about what you want to achieve. The act of writing things down forces you to slow down, to think intentionally about the future you want to create. It helps you set a direction for your day, and more importantly, it helps you stay focused on that direction throughout the day. But let's be clear about something. It's not just about writing down any goals. It's about being specific and intentional. Your goals should be clear and achievable. When you write your goals, ask yourself, what do I want to accomplish today? Then break it down. Don't just write, I want to be successful, or I want to be happy. Those are great desires, but they're too vague. Instead, write down exactly what you want to do today to get closer to those bigger dreams. I'm going to finish this project. I'm going to make 5 new sales calls. I'm going to eat healthy today. The more specific you are, the better. There's something incredibly powerful about writing goals down on paper. It makes them real. It takes them from a vague idea in your mind and turns them into something tangible, something you can work toward. When you write down your goals, you're committing to them. You're telling yourself, this is what I want, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to make it happen. The written word has power, and when you write down your goals, you're harnessing that power. But writing down your goals is just the beginning. It's not enough to simply make a list and forget about it. You have to look at your goals every day. You need to review them regularly to remind yourself of what you're working toward. Keep your goals in front of you, whether that means putting them on your desk, keeping them on your phone, or even writing them on sticky notes that you see throughout the day. The more you look at them, the more real they become. One of the biggest challenges people face when it comes to achieving their goals is staying focused. Life is full of distractions. There are always things that want your attention, and if you're not careful, you'll end up spending your time on things that don't move you closer to your goals. Writing your goals down every morning helps keep you on track. It serves as a daily reminder of what's important. It brings your focus back to the tasks that matter and helps you filter out the distractions. And let me tell you, staying focused is key to achieving anything. It's easy to get sidetracked, to lose sight of what you're trying to do. But if you keep your goals front and center, you'll be more likely to take the right actions every day. You'll make decisions based on what's going to move you forward, not on what's going to waste your time. Another important thing to remember is that goals don't just happen on their own. You have to actively work toward them. It's not enough to just write down your goals and hope for the best. You need to make a plan for how you're going to achieve them. What steps are you going to take today to move closer to your goals? Writing your goals down every morning gives you the opportunity to plan your day and prioritize the most important tasks. Think about it, every day is a chance to make progress. Every morning you wake up, you're given a blank slate, and when you write down your goals, you're taking control of that day. You're deciding how you're going to spend your time and energy. You're telling yourself, today is a day that counts. Today is a day I'm going to move closer to my dreams. What's most day to? Now don't expect everything to go perfectly. There will be days when things don't go as planned. There will be times when you face setbacks, when you hit roadblocks, or when life throws something unexpected your way. But the key is to stay consistent. Even on the tough days, keep writing down your goals. Keep focusing on what you can control. Keep taking small steps forward. Success doesn't happen overnight, but with consistent effort, you'll get closer every day. It's also important to remember that your goals will evolve over time. As you grow, as you achieve things, your goals will change. What you wanted 6 months ago might not be what you want now, and that's okay. That's the beauty of life. It's a journey, and as you move forward, your goals will shift, and that's a sign that you're progressing, that you're growing. But no matter how your goals change, the process remains the same. Write them down every morning. Stay focused, take action, and keep moving forward. That's how you get results. When you make writing your goals a habit, it becomes a part of who you are. It becomes a part of your routine, something you do without thinking. And as that habit grows, so will your success. You'll start to see how every day builds on the last, how each small step brings you closer to your bigger dreams. The key takeaway here is this: the more clearly you define your goals, and the more consistently you work toward them, the more likely you are to succeed. Writing down your goals every morning isn't just a task. It's a habit that sets you up for success. It's a way to take control of your day, your actions, and ultimately, your life. So start today. Take 5 minutes each morning to write down your goals, review them, and set your intentions. Your future self will thank you for it. Number 3, review your progress. See what's working and what's not. Every journey towards success is filled with decisions, actions, and adjustments. There's no one-size-fits-all path to reaching your goals. The key, however, is the ability to review your progress regularly, to take a step back and evaluate what's working, what's not, and how you can improve. This process isn't just about acknowledging the wins, but also about learning from the setbacks. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you honestly assessed where you are and where you're going? It's easy to get lost in the day-to-day grind and assume that because you're working hard, you're moving in the right direction. But just working hard doesn't always mean you're working smart. The difference between success and failure often comes down to your ability to make adjustments along the way. At the heart of progress lies this simple truth. You have to measure what you're doing. If you're not checking in with yourself regularly, how do you know if you're making the right moves? How do you know if you're even on the right path? This is why reviewing your progress is not just a luxury. It's a necessity. When you look at your goals, your work, and your life, you need to be completely honest with yourself. It's easy to overlook areas where we're not doing so well, or areas where we could be improving. But honesty is crucial. Without being truthful about what's really working and what isn't, you'll just keep moving forward without any real direction. And that's dangerous because you could be putting energy into things that are not moving you forward at all. So start by asking yourself some basic questions. First, what progress have you made? Take a moment to celebrate the small victories, the milestones that you've reached. It could be something as simple as finishing a project, sticking to your workout routine, or even getting through a difficult conversation. These victories matter. They show that you're capable of progress. They show that your efforts are starting to pay off. But the celebration doesn't end there. Once you acknowledge what's working, it's time to ask yourself, what's not working? This is where things can get a little uncomfortable. No one likes to admit that something isn't going according to plan, but it's an important part of growth. Maybe your strategy isn't producing the results you expected. Perhaps you're not staying as consistent as you should be. Or you've realized that the path you're on isn't taking you where you thought it would. The key is to not shy away from those areas. Instead of brushing them under the rug or pretending they don't exist, look at them squarely. Identify where things are falling short. Is it a lack of discipline? Are you getting distracted by things that aren't important? Is there a gap in your skills or knowledge that's holding you back? Be real about where you need to improve. This is where you start to adjust your course. The greatest achievers don't just stick to their plans blindly. They constantly assess what's working, make changes, and adapt. You've probably heard the saying, if you're not changing, you're not growing. And it's true. Growth comes from being willing to try something different when what you're doing isn't giving you the results you want. But here's the thing, making adjustments doesn't mean abandoning your goals or giving up on what you want to achieve. It means being flexible with the process. The goal doesn't change, but the approach might. For example, maybe you've been struggling to stick to a fitness routine. Upon reviewing your progress, you realize that the time you've been setting aside isn't working because life keeps getting in the way. But rather than giving up, you adjust the schedule. You find a time that fits better. You tweak your plan, but you don't stop trying. Adjustments like these can make all the difference. Reviewing your progress isn't just about looking at your results. It's about looking at your actions and habits. You can work hard, but if your actions aren't aligned with your goals, the results will reflect that. Maybe you've been putting in the hours, but not doing the right kind of work. Maybe you've been busy, but not productive. By reviewing your progress, you start to see where your actions need more focus or a different approach. It's also important to be kind to yourself during this process. When you look at your progress, it's easy to fall into the trap of being overly critical. It's easy to focus only on what's not working and forget to acknowledge what is working. Progress isn't linear. There will be days when things are moving forward, and there will be days when it feels like you're taking steps backward. That's okay. What matters is that you keep going, that you stay committed, and that you're learning from your experiences. A big part of reviewing your progress is tracking your habits. Habits are the backbone of success. They dictate how you spend your time, how much effort you put in, and whether you stay consistent or not. Look at your daily habits. Are they serving your goals? Are you consistently doing the things that move you forward? Or are you getting caught up in things that hold you back? If your habits aren't supporting your progress, now's the time to change them. One powerful way to track your progress is to keep a journal or a log. Write down your thoughts, your successes, your challenges, and your feelings. This not only helps you keep track of your progress, but also gives you a clear record of how far you've come. When you look back, you'll see patterns. You'll notice areas where you've made great strides, as well as areas where you need to put more focus. This record is a powerful tool that can keep you on track and give you the clarity to keep moving forward. Remember, the point of reviewing your progress isn't to be perfect, it's to be better. The goal is improvement, not perfection. No one gets everything right on the first try. But the successful ones are those who keep refining their approach. They take the time to assess what's working and what's not, and they adjust accordingly. That's what sets them apart. In this process, patience is key. Success doesn't happen overnight. The journey requires continuous effort, but with regular progress reviews, you'll avoid making the same mistakes over and over again. The more often you check in with yourself, the quicker you'll identify what's holding you back and make the necessary adjustments. This ability to refine and adjust is what propels you forward, step by step. In conclusion, reviewing your progress is one of the most important steps you can take in achieving your goals. It helps you see what's working, what's not, and where you need to improve. It's about being honest with yourself, making adjustments, and staying committed to the long-term vision. Don't be afraid to take a step back and evaluate your journey. The more you review and adjust, the faster you'll move toward your goals. Keep making progress, keep learning, and keep improving, because every step forward is a step closer to your success. Number 4, stay away from negative people. They kill consistency. Every single one of us is trying to move forward in life, trying to reach for something better, trying to build a better future. The truth is, success isn't just about what you do, it's also about who you surround yourself with. You see, the people you spend your time with can either fuel your progress or slow you down. Negative people have a way of draining your energy, planting doubt, and killing your drive without you even realizing it. Let's start by being honest here. You've been around them, haven't you? The ones who always seem to have something bad to say. The ones who always focus on what's wrong instead of what's right. Maybe it's that coworker who always complains about their job, the friend who never seems to have anything good to say, or the relative who just doesn't believe in your dreams. You know the type. Their negativity spreads, and if you're not careful, it can start to affect your mindset, your mood, and ultimately your progress. You have to ask yourself, are these people helping you become the best version of yourself? Are they encouraging you, challenging you, and pushing you to do better? Or are they holding you back, distracting you, and telling you that your dreams are impossible? The reality is this: if you want to be consistent, you have to get away from negativity. It's important to understand that negativity is contagious. When someone around you is constantly negative, it can start to seep into your thoughts. Their doubts become your doubts. Their fear becomes your fear. And soon you find yourself questioning your own goals, your ability, and your future. The worst part is, negative people often don't even realize how much damage they're causing. They're not trying to bring you down. They're just too caught up in their own negative mindset to see the harm they're doing. Now, this doesn't mean you should completely cut ties with everyone who has a bad day or who faces challenges. Everyone has their struggles. We all have our moments of doubt or fear. That's normal. But the difference between a healthy, supportive relationship and a toxic, negative one is that you shouldn't feel drained every time you're around them. The people in your life should lift you up, not tear you down. They should inspire you, not hold you back. Let's be clear. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If those people are constantly pessimistic, stuck in their own struggles, and not trying to improve their lives, you're going to start thinking that way too. It's not that they want to drag you down intentionally. It's simply that they're unaware of how their attitude affects you. They are stuck in their own mindset, and unless you distance yourself, you'll start to adopt the same mindset. You have to make a conscious decision. Choose to surround yourself with people who are positive, who inspire you, who are doing something with their lives. This doesn't mean you should only hang around people who never struggle, or who always have it together. It means you should be with people who are focused on progress, on growth, and on success. People who believe in themselves and their ability to achieve. When you surround yourself with people like this, it starts to rub off on you. Their energy becomes your energy, and their belief in themselves will remind you to believe in yourself too. But it's not just about the people you actively spend time with. It's also about the people you let into your mind. Negative influences aren't always face-to-face conversation. Sometimes it's the media you consume, the social media feeds you scroll through, or the news you watch. If you're constantly filling your mind with negativity, whether it's from people around you or from what you're seeing in the world, it becomes harder to stay consistent with your goals. The more negative input you allow, the harder it becomes to stay focused on your own journey. You've got to be mindful of the messages you're letting into your life. Another important point here is the way negative people try to influence you. They often do it under the guise of concern. Are you sure this is the right path? You know most people don't make it. What if you fail? These comments aren't meant to be helpful. They're meant to plant seeds of doubt. And if you let these seeds take root, they can grow into fears and insecurities that hold you back. You've got to be able to spot these comments for what they are. Distractions designed to keep you from being consistent and focused on your goals. In some cases, it's even harder when the negative people are people you care about. Family, close friends, even mentors. You might feel guilty about distancing yourself from them, or you might think that you need to listen to them because they have more experience or know what's best for you. But if someone's negativity is affecting your progress, you've got to set boundaries. That's a difficult thing to do, especially with people you love, but it's necessary for your success. One way to protect yourself from negative influences is to practice emotional resilience. When negativity comes your way, whether it's from a person or from outside sources, you need to be able to recognize it and not let it affect you. You have to remind yourself that other people's opinions do not define your worth or your potential. You are in control of how you react. If someone is being negative, you don't have to accept that energy into your life. You can choose to ignore it, to walk away from it, or to simply refocus your mind on your goals. Emotional resilience means not allowing external negativity to impact your internal peace. At the end of the day, staying away from negative people isn't about being rude or harsh. It's about protecting your own mental and emotional space. It's about staying focused on your goals and not letting others' negativity pull you off course. Consistency requires clarity, focus, and energy. And if negative people are draining your energy, it's going to be hard to stay consistent in your actions. Take the time to surround yourself with people who will inspire you, challenge you, and believe in you. Spend time with those who are actively pursuing their own goals, those who are positive and uplifting. This is how you build a strong, supportive circle. And when you've got the right people around you, you'll find it much easier to stay consistent, keep moving forward, and ultimately reach your goals. Remember, negativity is like a weight that pulls you down. If you want to rise, you've got to let go of anything that's holding you back. And that includes people. Stay away from the ones who kill your consistency. Keep your circle strong, positive, and focused, and watch how quickly your progress begins to accelerate. Number 5, finish what you start. No excuses. If there's one thing that's guaranteed to set you apart from the crowd, it's your ability to finish what you start. In a world full of distractions, challenges, and temptations, the ability to stick with something until it's completed is a rare quality. Most people start strong. They get excited. They have big dreams, and they dive in with full energy. But as time passes, the excitement fades. Obstacles come up, and they give up. You cannot afford to be one of those people. Success demands that you finish what you start. No excuses. Look around you. How many people do you know who have great ideas but never see them through? They might start a business, a fitness plan, or a personal project. But before long, they hit a bump in the road, and it's over. The idea is abandoned. The dream is forgotten, and they start looking for the next shiny object to chase. This is the story of most people's lives. They're always starting things and never finishing them. Don't let that be you. You've got to recognize that starting is the easy part. Everyone can get excited in the beginning. Everyone can talk about what they're going to do. But when it gets tough, when the journey gets long, and when you're not seeing immediate results, that's when most people bail. They make excuses. It's not the right time. I'll try again tomorrow. Or this isn't working the way I thought it would. These are all just excuses, and excuses don't get you anywhere. The simple truth is this: excuses will hold you back. They'll stop you from achieving your full potential. They'll keep you from building momentum, from growing, from reaching your goals. Every time you make an excuse, you lose ground. Every time you put something off, you delay your success. If you want to be successful, you need to develop the habit of following through and finishing what you start. But let me be clear about something. Finishing doesn't mean you won't face obstacles. It doesn't mean things will always go according to plan. In fact, you will face challenges, big ones, small ones, and some that will test you in ways you never imagined. That's part of the journey. But that's also where the real growth happens. Success doesn't come from avoiding challenges. It comes from pushing through them. You can't let every little setback derail you. If your goal is to get fit, you can't quit the moment you miss a workout or don't see instant results. If your goal is to build a business, you can't stop just because things aren't going as planned or you've encountered some resistance. When you make excuses, you're telling yourself that your goal isn't important enough to overcome the challenges. But the truth is, your goals are worth the effort. They're worth the struggle. And if you want to achieve anything meaningful, you have to be willing to stay the course, no matter how difficult it gets. Here's the thing. Excuses always feel good in the moment. They provide instant relief. They give you an out. They make it easy to justify why you're not following through. But that feeling doesn't last. Eventually you'll look back and regret not finishing. You'll regret not sticking with it, not pushing through the tough times, not making it to the finish line. And that regret will haunt you much longer than the discomfort of staying committed ever would. Now, I'm not saying that finishing is easy. It's not. The road to success is rarely straight. It's filled with bumps, detours, and unexpected turns. But every time you finish something you start, you build confidence. You show yourself that you have what it takes to push through. You prove that you can do it. And when you prove to yourself that you can finish something, you become more capable of finishing the next thing. It's all about building momentum. Think about the things you've completed in your life, big or small. The times when you didn't stop, when you didn't quit, when you kept going despite the challenges. Those accomplishments, those moments, those are the times you should look back on when you're thinking about quitting now. Every time you push through, you strengthen your ability to finish. You become someone who doesn't just start things, but actually finishes them. But here's the kicker. Finishing is not just about the end result. It's about the person you become in the process. The strength you develop, the lessons you learn, and the resilience you build are just as important as reaching the goal. The discipline you gain from finishing what you start will carry over into every other area of your life. It will make you stronger, more focused, and more determined. So how do you make sure you finish what you start? How do you build the habit of finishing and eliminate excuses once and for all? It starts with commitment. You have to make a firm decision that you're not going to quit, that you're going to see things through, no matter how tough it gets. When you commit, you remove the option of quitting. There's no plan B. You don't entertain the idea of stopping. You just keep moving forward. Next, break your goals into smaller, manageable pieces. Don't get overwhelmed by the big picture. Focus on one step at a time and celebrate each small victory along the way. When you break things down into smaller tasks, it becomes much easier to stay consistent and motivated. You can't do everything all at once, but you can take small, consistent actions every day, and that's how you finish. Another way to ensure you finish is to stay accountable. Whether it's telling a friend about your goals or keeping track of your progress, accountability forces you to stay on track. When you know someone else is watching, you're much less likely to make excuses. You'll be more motivated to follow through because you don't want to let yourself or others down. You also need to focus on the process, not just the outcome. The end result will come, but what matters most is what you do every day to get there. The small steps, the consistent effort, and the daily work will make all the difference. If you get too caught up in how far you have to go, you might get discouraged. But if you focus on the small actions you can take today, you'll keep moving forward. And finally, don't be afraid to ask for help. No one gets to the top alone. Surround yourself with people who will encourage you, challenge you, and help you stay on track. Whether it's a mentor, a friend, or a coach, don't be afraid to reach out when you need support. If you want to be someone who finishes what they start, you need to embrace discomfort, eliminate excuses, and stay committed. Every time you finish something, you become stronger, more capable, and more successful. It's not about being perfect, it's about being persistent. Keep going, and you'll find yourself achieving things you once thought were impossible. You've got this. Number 6. Stick to a work schedule. Treat your time like gold. If you want to achieve anything significant in life, you've got to start treating your time with respect. Time is not just another commodity. It's your most valuable asset. It doesn't matter how much money you make, how many people you know, or how many opportunities come your way. If you don't manage your time wisely, you won't achieve the success you desire. Time doesn't wait for anyone. It doesn't care about your excuses, your problems, or your distractions. Every day is a gift, and you've got a limited amount of it. If you want to get more out of your life, you have to be intentional with how you spend it. You have to treat your time like gold. When you stick to a work schedule, you put boundaries around your time. You stop letting distractions and interruptions control your day. A work schedule gives you structure and a sense of purpose. Without it, you're just drifting along, hoping that things will get done. But here's the reality. Things don't just get done on their own. You have to make them happen. And you make them happen by being intentional about when and how you work. Let me ask you this. How often do you find yourself wasting time on things that don't really matter? How often do you get caught up in social media, checking your phone, or just procrastinating? It happens to all of us. But the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is how they use their time. Successful people don't let time slip away. They treat every hour like it's precious, because frankly it is. If you want to achieve your goals, you need to start taking your time seriously. The first step in doing this is creating a work schedule. A schedule is more than just a list of things to do. It's a commitment to yourself. It's a promise that you will be productive, focused, and disciplined. A schedule helps you prioritize your most important tasks and avoid the temptation of distractions. But let's be honest, creating a schedule is one thing, sticking to it is another. That's where the real challenge lies. It's easy to say you're going to follow a schedule, but it takes real discipline to stay committed. It takes the ability to say no to things that are going to waste your time, and yes to the things that will move you closer to your goals. One of the best ways to stick to a schedule is to break your day into blocks of time. Instead of looking at your whole day as one giant task, break it down into manageable chunks. For example, you could dedicate the first 2 hours of your day to deep work that requires focus and attention, and then set aside time for meetings, emails, or other less intense tasks. The key is to stay focused on one thing at a time. Multitasking is a myth. It doesn't help you get more done. It only makes you less efficient. Also remember that your schedule should reflect your priorities. What are the most important tasks that will help you move forward in life? These are the tasks that should take up the majority of your time. If you're spending most of your day on things that don't contribute to your success, you're wasting time. Your schedule should reflect your values, the things that are most important to you. Make sure you're spending your time doing the things that will get you closer to your goals. But sticking to a work schedule isn't just about time management. It's also about self-discipline. You have to be willing to hold yourself accountable. No one else is going to make sure you're sticking to your schedule. It's up to you. And it's up to you to make sure that every hour of your day is spent working on the things that matter. You also need to embrace consistency. Success isn't about big bursts of effort. It's about showing up every single day. The most successful people don't have a secret formula. They just keep working consistently, day in and day out. Consistency is what compounds over time. It's the small, consistent actions you take that will eventually lead to big results. If you stick to your schedule every day, you'll start to see the progress, even if it's small at first. But over time, that progress will add up, and you'll find yourself closer to your goals than you ever imagined. Don't let yourself fall into the trap of procrastination. Procrastination is the enemy of productivity. It's the habit that steals your time and keeps you from achieving what you're capable of. Procrastination is often driven by fear, uncertainty, or just the discomfort of starting a task. But here's the thing, you'll never feel ready to start. You have to start anyway. And once you start, momentum will kick in. The hardest part is always the beginning. Once you're into the work, it becomes much easier to stay focused and finish what you started. Another key to sticking to a work schedule is being flexible. Life happens. Sometimes things don't go as planned. You might encounter unexpected challenges or need to adjust your schedule to accommodate new priorities. That's okay. The key is to stay adaptable. If something comes up, adjust your schedule accordingly, but don't give up entirely. The goal is to keep moving forward, even if you have to change direction along the way. It's also important to set boundaries with your time. You can't let other people take your time for granted. If you're constantly saying yes to everyone else, you're saying no to your own goals. Set boundaries so you can protect your time. Don't be afraid to say no when people ask you to do things that don't align with your priorities. Your time is too valuable to waste on things that don't matter. And remember, it's okay to take breaks. Your schedule doesn't have to be jam-packed from morning to night. You need time to recharge, to step away, and to relax. A well-rested mind and body are much more productive than a burned-out one. So schedule time for rest and recovery, and don't feel guilty about it. In fact, taking breaks will make you more efficient when you return to work. Let's talk about one more thing. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stick to your schedule. If your workspace is cluttered and disorganized, it's going to be a lot harder to stay focused. Take the time to create a workspace that's clean, organized, and free from distractions. Whether it's your desk, your office, or your home, make sure the environment supports your work. The better your environment, the easier it will be to stick to your schedule. At the end of the day, it all comes down to this: time is your most precious resource. How you use it determines your future. If you want to be successful, you need to start treating your time like gold. You need to stop wasting it on things that don't matter and focus on the tasks that will get you closer to your goals. Stick to a work schedule, be disciplined, stay consistent, and treat your time with the respect it deserves. Your future self will thank you. Number 7, stay patient. Success takes time. Success isn't something that happens overnight. If you want to reach the kind of success that truly matters, something lasting and meaningful, you need to understand that it takes time. Too often, we get impatient. We see others around us achieving their goals and wonder why we aren't there yet. But the truth is, everyone's journey is different, and the path to success isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. One of the biggest mistakes people make is expecting instant results. We live in a world of instant gratification, where everything from food to entertainment is available at the push of a button. But success doesn't work that way. It's not a product you can buy or a quick fix. Success takes time, hard work, and consistency. If you want to be truly successful, you've got to be patient with the process. It doesn't matter what industry you're in or what your goals are. You will face challenges, setbacks, and moments of doubt along the way. That's part of the process. The question isn't whether those challenges will come, it's how you respond to them. Do you keep pushing forward, or do you give up too soon? We often hear stories of overnight success, but those stories rarely tell the full picture. The truth is, most people who achieve great things spend years working behind the scenes, quietly putting in the effort while no one is watching. It's the countless hours of hard work, persistence, and dedication that lead to success, not a sudden burst of luck or an easy breakthrough. I know it's tempting to want to see immediate results, but if you focus only on the end goal, you might miss the small wins along the way. Success isn't just about reaching a destination, it's about the journey. Every step you take, no matter how small, is progress. Celebrate that progress and be patient with yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and neither are your dreams. Patience doesn't mean doing nothing. It doesn't mean sitting back and waiting for things to happen. Patience means doing the work consistently, day after day, even when you don't see immediate results. It means trusting the process and knowing that if you stay focused, your efforts will eventually pay off. Too often people give up right before the breakthrough happens. They start something new with excitement, but when the results don't come quickly, they quit. Don't let that be you. If you keep pushing forward, even when it seems like nothing is happening, you'll eventually break through. There's a saying that goes, success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. Every small step, no matter how insignificant it seems, is bringing you closer to your goal. But let's be honest, it's not always easy to stay patient. In a world where we're used to seeing results quickly, waiting can be frustrating. But here's the key. The more you work at it, the more experience you gain. With time comes wisdom. With time comes the opportunity to refine your approach and improve. Success is often about adjusting, learning from mistakes, and finding better ways to do things. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to succeed. In fact, success isn't about perfection. It's about perseverance. It's about continuing to move forward, even when things get tough. Every time you face a setback, every time you make a mistake, you're learning something valuable. Those lessons will become part of the foundation for your future success. Patience also means understanding that there will be times when things don't go according to plan. You can't control everything, There will be delays, obstacles, and unexpected challenges. But how you respond to those challenges is what will define your success. Do you let setbacks stop you, or do you use them as stepping stones to get closer to your goal? The truth is, no one has it easy. The people you look up to, the ones who have reached the success you're striving for, they didn't get there by avoiding difficulty. They got there by staying patient and persistent through the tough times. Success is the result of sticking with something long enough to figure it out. Another important part of staying patient is trusting in your abilities. Sometimes, impatience comes from self-doubt. You wonder if you're good enough or capable enough to succeed. But you are. Trust in yourself. Trust in the work you're putting in. You have everything you need to succeed, but you've got to believe in the process and in your own potential. Here's a question to ask yourself. What's the alternative? If you give up because you're not seeing results fast enough, what happens? You start over, right? And when you start over, you lose the momentum you've already built. You lose the lessons you've learned, and you end up back at square one. So even though it feels hard, it's better to keep going. Patience is a powerful tool. It's the ability to keep moving forward, no matter how long it takes, and trust that eventually your persistence will pay off. One way to build patience is by focusing on the long-term vision. Success is a process, not an event. Think about where you want to be in 5 or 10 years. What do you want your life to look like? If you focus on the bigger picture, it becomes easier to stay patient in the present moment. The small setbacks and delays don't feel as big when you remind yourself that they're just part of the journey. There's another thing I want you to keep in mind. Success is rarely linear. You're going to have some ups and downs, and that's okay. Some days will feel like you're making great progress, while other days will feel like you're stuck. It's all part of the process. You can't let a bad day or a rough week make you think you're not moving forward. Progress is not always immediately visible. Sometimes the work you're doing today will show results months or even years down the road. Stay patient with yourself and stay patient with the process. Know that success takes time, but if you keep showing up, keep working hard, and keep believing in your dreams, success will eventually come. Don't rush it, don't force it. Just keep doing the work, stay committed, and trust that in time, everything you're working for will be within your reach. Patience, when combined with consistent effort, creates momentum, and momentum leads to success. The key is to be in it for the long haul. Don't let impatience or the desire for instant results stop you from achieving your dreams. Stay patient, stay focused, and most importantly, stay committed to the process. Your success is closer than you think. Number 8, take small steps daily. Even tiny progress. The path to success isn't always about making giant leaps. In fact, the most sustainable, lasting progress often comes from small, consistent steps. You see, many people get discouraged because they believe that they need to make huge breakthroughs right away in order to succeed. They want to see massive results in a short amount of time. But the truth is, small steps matter. Even tiny progress counts. Every small effort you make today builds the foundation for a bigger achievement tomorrow. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that success is about quick, dramatic changes. We see people who seem to make big moves, and we think we need to do the same. But here's something that you need to remember. Success is a journey, not a sprint. It's about showing up every day, making consistent efforts, and improving bit by bit. The little things you do every single day, even if they don't seem significant, add up over time. You might not see the results right away, but over the course of days, weeks, and months, those small actions accumulate into something powerful. Imagine trying to build a house. If you start with just one brick at a time, it might seem like a slow process. But as you keep adding one brick after another, the house slowly starts to take shape. You can't build a house in a day, but every brick counts. It's the same with your goals. Each small step you take brings you closer to building the life you want. One of the biggest barriers to success is the feeling of being overwhelmed. When you look at your goals from a distance, they can seem so far out of reach. You may look at someone who has achieved a certain level of success and think, "I'll never get there. It's just too much." But here's the thing. You don't need to achieve everything all at once. You don't need to do it all today. You don't even need to do it all this week. All you need to do is take one small step today. Just focus on what you can do right now. And then tomorrow, take another small step. The key is consistency. Think about when you first learned to walk. You didn't get up and start running right away, did you? No, you took small steps, stumbling and falling, but you kept going. Each time you tried, you got a little bit better. And one day you were walking across the room without even thinking about it. The same principle applies to your goals. Each small step, no matter how seemingly insignificant, builds your confidence, your skills, and your momentum. And eventually, those small steps lead to big results. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you need to have everything figured out all at once. Take it one day at a time. If you try to tackle everything all at once, you'll burn out. But if you focus on small, manageable actions, you can make progress without feeling overwhelmed. Start with one task, one habit, one decision. Over time, these small steps will compound, and you'll look back and be amazed at how far you've come. Remember that progress doesn't have to be dramatic to be meaningful. Many people fail because they want immediate results. And when they don't see instant success, they quit. But small steps over time add up. It's not about making huge changes every day. It's about making progress, no matter how small. If you're moving forward, no matter how slow it seems, you are still ahead of the person who isn't taking any steps at all. And that's what matters. One of the most important things to understand is that small steps can build great habits. Success isn't just about big wins or sudden breakthroughs. It's about the daily routines and habits you build. A habit, after all, is just a behavior that you repeat regularly. And when you take small steps every day, you start building powerful habits that will serve you over the long run. Let me give you an example. If your goal is to get in better shape, you don't need to go to the gym for hours every single day. That might feel overwhelming. But if you start by walking for 10 minutes a day, or doing a few push-ups every morning, you're still making progress. At first it might feel like not much is happening, but over time those 10-minute walks will turn into longer ones, and those push-ups will get easier. The key is sticking to it. Small steps consistently taken lead to real transformation. Another reason why small steps work is that they help you build momentum. When you start taking action, no matter how small, it gets easier to keep going. Each time you take a small step, you're building momentum that carries you forward. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. When you have it, you start to gain confidence, and you begin to believe that your efforts are paying off. The more you do, the more you want to do. And that's what keeps you moving forward. But here's something else to remember. It's okay to go at your own pace. You don't have to compare your progress to anyone else's. Everyone's journey is different, and there's no right speed to success. If someone else seems to be moving faster than you, that doesn't mean you're behind. Your journey is unique to you. Focus on your own progress and take the steps that feel right for you. Even if it feels slow, you're still making progress, and that's what matters. Over time, those small steps lead to big wins. You'll look back and realize that all the little things you did every day, whether it was reading for 15 minutes, writing down your goals, or just making the decision to keep going, have compounded into something powerful. Small steps lead to big results. And while it might not always feel like much in the moment, trust me when I say that the small things you do consistently will add up to great success in the end. So take a deep breath and focus on today. What's one small step you can take right now to move closer to your goals? You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to take that first step. And when you take that step, take another tomorrow, and the day after that. Keep moving forward. The tiny progress you make today is building the foundation for the big results you'll see tomorrow. One step at a time, that's how you win. Number 9, celebrate small wins. Stay motivated. The journey towards success is full of challenges, setbacks, and hard work. And it's easy to get discouraged when you feel like you're not moving fast enough or achieving big results right away. But here's a powerful truth. Celebrating small wins is just as important as achieving the big ones. It's the small victories, the little steps forward, that keep you motivated and remind you that progress is happening. We often make the mistake of waiting for the big breakthrough before we allow ourselves to celebrate. We think that we can only feel proud or satisfied once we've reached a major milestone. But that's the wrong approach. Celebrating small wins along the way is what keeps the fire of motivation burning. It's what gives you the energy to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Let me tell you, success doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't come in one grand, dramatic moment. It's the result of consistent effort over time. And along the way, you're going to have a lot of small wins, those moments when you make a little progress, hit a minor goal, or overcome a small obstacle. And those moments deserve to be celebrated. Celebrate them. Acknowledge them. Give yourself credit for the work you're doing, no matter how small it might seem. When you celebrate small wins, you're telling yourself, I'm on the right path. I'm doing the work. I'm moving forward. And that positive reinforcement is powerful. It keeps your spirits up and reminds you that you're making progress. Without that encouragement, it's easy to get frustrated and lose focus. Celebrating small wins keeps you motivated for the long haul. Think about it. If you were working on a fitness goal and your target is to lose 20 pounds, you might not hit that target in the first few weeks. But if you celebrate the small wins along the way, like losing the first 2 or 3 pounds, you're giving yourself a reason to stay motivated. You're saying to yourself, look, I'm making progress. I'm getting closer to my goal every day. And that sense of accomplishment fuels your desire to keep going. Now, this doesn't mean you should become complacent or stop striving for more. It doesn't mean that you settle for mediocrity. What it does mean is that you take time to recognize the effort you've put in, even if the results aren't as big as you want them to be just yet. Celebrating the small wins doesn't mean you're satisfied with where you are. It means you're appreciating how far you've come. And that appreciation helps you stay focused and energized for the next step. Another reason why celebrating small wins is so important is that it helps you build momentum. Momentum is one of the most powerful forces in achieving your goals. When you celebrate even the tiniest win, you build positive energy that propels you forward. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill. Small actions add up and create momentum that keeps growing. Every time you acknowledge your progress, you're making it easier to keep moving forward. Momentum keeps you going, even when the going gets tough. The great thing about small wins is that they can come in many different forms. It's not just about big results or achievements. It's about noticing and appreciating the small things you do every day. Maybe you stuck to your schedule today. Maybe you did one more push-up than you did last week. Maybe you finished a task you've been putting off for days. These small victories count. And when you take time to celebrate them, you're reinforcing the habit of progress. When you celebrate small wins, you also give yourself a moment to pause and reflect. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and forget to appreciate what you've accomplished. But when you stop to celebrate, you can take a breath and see how far you've come. You can reflect on the journey and recognize the effort you've put in. It gives you a moment of gratitude, which is powerful. Gratitude keeps your mind focused on the positive, rather than on what you still have left to do. If you've ever heard someone say success is a marathon, not a sprint, it's true. But the thing is, marathons are made up of small steps. Every mile you run is part of the bigger race. If you wait until you cross the finish line to celebrate, you miss all the joy and satisfaction that comes with each mile. Celebrate each mile. Celebrate each small win, because it's all part of the process. And you don't have to wait for anyone else to acknowledge your progress. You are the one who needs to celebrate you. Don't wait for someone else to tell you you're doing a good job. You know the work you've put in, so take pride in it. If you've taken a small step forward, then that's something to be proud of. Now, you might be thinking, but what if my small wins don't feel big enough to celebrate? Well, let me tell you, they are big enough. Every step forward, no matter how small, is progress. Every effort you make is worth recognizing. The key is to shift your mindset. Instead of focusing on how far you still have to go, focus on how far you've already come. Each small win is a part of the bigger picture. Let's be clear. Celebrating small wins doesn't mean you stop aiming high. It doesn't mean you become complacent or satisfied with mediocrity. What it does mean is that you're honoring the process, you're recognizing the effort, and you're building the momentum you need to keep pushing forward. It's about creating positive reinforcement in your journey. So the next time you make progress, whether it's big or small, take a moment to celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back. Say, I'm doing this, I'm making it happen, and then keep moving forward. Because the small wins you celebrate today will give you the strength and motivation to achieve even bigger wins tomorrow. Remember, success is built on a series of small wins. When you take the time to celebrate those small victories, you're not just staying motivated, you're reinforcing the habits that will carry you to the bigger successes you're working toward. Keep celebrating, keep moving forward, and never forget that every small step counts. Keep going. Your journey is unfolding beautifully. Number 10, never stop improving. Be 1% better every day. The pursuit of success doesn't end with one victory, one achievement, or one goal. It's not about hitting a single milestone and then stopping. Success is a journey that requires constant growth and improvement. It's about understanding that no matter how much you've accomplished, there's always room for more. Always room to grow. Always room to be better. You don't need to make giant leaps every day. You just need to focus on improving by 1% every day. That might seem small, but let me tell you, those little improvements add up. When you get 1% better every day, you're making progress every single day. And over time, that 1% improvement compounds into something massive. You'll look back and realize how much growth you've experienced, how much further you've come, and how much stronger you are. Here's the truth. Success isn't about being perfect. It's not about being the best right out of the gate. It's about committing to improvement, no matter how small. The key is consistency. You don't need to make huge, dramatic changes every day. What matters is that you keep showing up, keep pushing yourself, and keep trying to get just a little bit better than you were yesterday. Think about it. If you focus on improving by just 1% every day, that's a 365% improvement by the end of the year. It doesn't have to be overwhelming. Small steps lead to big changes. And those small steps, when taken every day, create momentum. Momentum is a powerful force in success. It builds on itself. And before you know it, you're accomplishing things you once thought were impossible. Now, improvement doesn't always mean making progress in the same area. Sometimes it's about expanding your knowledge, learning something new, or improving your mindset. Maybe it's about building stronger relationships, improving your health, or becoming more disciplined. Improvement doesn't have to be limited to one area of life. It's about being better in every part of your life. Look for those small opportunities every day to improve, whether it's in your work, your habits, or your relationships. And here's the thing. It doesn't matter how small the improvement is. Whether you read a chapter in a book, work out for 10 minutes, or finish a task you've been avoiding, it counts. Every small step forward is progress. It all adds up. It's easy to get caught up in the big picture and think that you have to make huge strides to be successful. But success is built on small, consistent actions. If you can commit to making small improvements every day, you'll be amazed at the results over time. It's also important to remember that improvement is not always linear. Some days you're going to make big strides. Other days you'll feel like you're barely moving forward, and that's okay. The key is to keep going, even when it feels like progress is slow. The important thing is that you're still moving forward. As long as you're moving forward, you're on the right track. Now let's talk about your mindset. Improvement starts with how you think. If you believe that you can improve, that you can be better tomorrow than you were today, then you'll start to take actions that align with that belief. It's all about shifting your mindset to one of growth. When you focus on growth, you'll see opportunities for improvement everywhere. You'll look at challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, not as obstacles to overcome. Being 1% better every day also means accepting that you won't be perfect. You'll make mistakes. You'll have setbacks. You'll have days when you fall short of your expectations. But that's part of the process. The key is to not let those mistakes define you. Learn from them, adjust, and keep moving forward. As long as you keep trying to improve, you're winning. Perfection isn't the goal. Progress is. Improvement also requires discipline. It's easy to get distracted, to fall into old habits, or to procrastinate. But the ones who succeed in life are the ones who stay committed, who choose to show up every day and keep improving. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. It's the willingness to do the work, even when you don't feel like it, and to keep doing it every day. That's what separates the successful from the unsuccessful. One of the biggest obstacles to improvement is comparing yourself to others. Don't fall into that trap. Your journey is your own. You don't need to be where someone else is. You don't need to measure your progress by someone else's timeline. All you need to do is focus on getting 1% better every day. That's it. Don't worry about how fast someone else is moving. Focus on your own path, your own progress, and keep improving. And remember, the best time to start improving is right now. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until things are perfect. Just start where you are, with what you have, and keep improving from there. The longer you wait to start, the longer it will take to get where you want to go. So take that first step today. Focus on improvement, no matter how small, and make a commitment to keep moving forward every single day. As you continue on your journey, remind yourself that you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be better than you were yesterday. Every small improvement adds up. It may not always feel like you're making massive strides, but the results will show over time. That 1% improvement will compound, and you'll find yourself in a place you never thought possible. So make the decision today to never stop improving. Commit to getting 1% better every single day. It's a small commitment, but over time, it will lead to incredible results. Focus on the process, not just the outcome. Keep learning, keep growing, and keep moving forward. Success is not a destination, it's a journey. And the journey is made up of all the small improvements you make along the way. Keep improving, and you'll get there. Success is the sum of small efforts, repeated day in and day out. As we come to the end of this video, I want you to remember one thing: consistency is everything. The small things you do today will lead to the big results you want tomorrow. It's not about making huge changes overnight or waiting for that one big breakthrough. It's about taking consistent action, day after day, no matter how small it may seem in the moment. I hope what we've talked about today has given you the tools and mindset you need to stay focused, stay on track, and build the habits that will lead to your success. You have the power to make real progress, even if it's just one small step at a time. And before you know it, those small steps will have taken you much farther than you ever imagined. Now it's your turn. Go ahead. Take those first steps and commit to staying consistent. The results will come. You've got this. Thanks for watching. And remember, success is not a destination. It's a journey. Keep moving forward and keep showing up. The best is yet to come.